Welcome back, everyone. I am C-Money, and typically my introduction would include something about Risk, but today we're doing something a little bit different. I wanted to try some other content out on the channel. We're going to debut this on a weekend. If you enjoy it, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. Let me know down below what else you'd like to see. And I've been reading the comments lately. There has been requests for Rocket League. Maybe we'll see that. I might try to diversify the content a little bit. Maybe I'll keep it up with Risk. You guys let me know what you'd prefer to see. If you're not interested in this, that's totally fine. Might as well give it a shot. What it is I want to, as you can see on the screen above me, I want to go through a quiz that I have experienced quite a bit of experience with over time, which is on the website jetpunk. This is the recognized, non-recognized, and countries and territories of the world. So I think it's got about 247, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. It's either 247 or 257 options. I'm going to talk through all of them, what I do. Some of them have multiple accepted answers. I've done this quiz a lot of times. I've got all of them memorized. It's my geography nerd in me coming out, and I figured maybe I'll share it all with you. If you want to play along with me or play on your own, come back and see how you did compared to me. The link will be in the description down below, but I'm going to jump right into it. So I'm going to talk through this. Normally I do it fast. As you can see, my best time is just over 5 minutes. This will take us probably about 10 to 12. I think we get 20 total talking through it. What I usually do is I'll actually copy and paste my first country, which is, I don't even know if it's the longest one I can think of, but I do Equatorial Guinea first. I don't know why. It's just I copy and paste it and hit Control V when I start these quizzes, and then I go through what on the keyboard for me goes through the quickest. So I go Panama, Canada, USA, Belize, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and El Salvador. So that gets in the entire North American mainland. Now, what you guys will notice is that this also includes the territories. So if you're doing this, the normal countries of the world quiz on this website, or even on like Sporkle, for example, it wouldn't include most of the territories. However, things like Greenland, I usually go through most of the territories in the North American area. So Greenland, this one right here in Newfoundland is St. Pierre. So we'll get St. Pierre off there. So I can actually zoom in on the map a little bit. I hope that helps you guys. And you'll see them start to fill in down below, but that's part of the reason why I'm trying to speak them out loud. So we've got Bermuda there. Let me get the entire Caribbean and we'll bust through this. We got the Bahamas, Cuba. I think that's Turks and Caicos. It accepts shorter names. I'd prefer if I could type out the entirety of Turks and Caicos, which is this one that I just filled in here. And then we should have, I believe that's the Cayman Islands, the circle to the left there. And then Jamaica, Haiti. DR accepts for Dominican Republic. There's Puerto Rico. And then in this area, I believe we've got Anguilla. Oh, Anguilla is slightly to the right. These should be the Virgin Islands in here. It is. St. Martin should be in there as well. Antigua. I've been to Antigua, actually. St. Kitts is in there. Montserrat. Martinique. I can't zoom in any further, unfortunately. There should be... I said St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Guadeloupe is in there. I'm trying to remember what the small one. I might have to come back to the small one. We got Dominica, Barbados, Grenada, Trinidad is down at the bottom. There's also the Caribbean Netherlands are included in here. So I believe Saba is an acceptable answer for that. Also Aruba and Curacao are the other ones in there. I'm trying to remember what I am missing. St. Vincent is also in there. Antigua, Anguilla, British Virgin Islands. I will come back to that. I'm actually surprised that I'm forgetting something, but it's near the Virgin Islands, and it's not St. Kitts, and it's not Antigua. I said St. Kitts, right? Now I'm losing my marbles. The Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. We'll come back to that one. I normally just rapid fire this in my head, and so I'm not thinking super straight right now, but we'll get Venezuela, Colombia. Now, I'll do this separately. Normally, if you type Guyana for this next one, it'll allow French Guiana as well, but I'd prefer to do French Guiana separately because it is spelled different. And then we'll do Guyana, Suriname, Brazil, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, and then Chile and the Guays. So Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay down at the bottom. And then the Falkland Islands all the way at the bottom. Oh, actually, I know what this one is now. I remembered. We're coming back to it because I looked at St. Helena over here, which is what this one is. can see this large one fills in as St. Helena. We've also got St. Bart's, or St. Barth. If I do a little Control V here, Barth, you can see how that, yeah, St. Bartholomew, commonly called just St. Barth's or St. Barth or St. Bart. So we got all of North and South America done. So I'm going to move over. I prefer to do the Pacific Islands next. They are a little split here, so I'm going to try to get the ones on the right first. There should be Kiribati in here. We've also got, this should be French Polynesia, is this one in the center. Pitcairn is the one on the right. And then I believe this might be the Cook Islands. It is. That is the Cook Islands over here. And then we've got quite a bit more bleeding over here. So we'll get well, Australia. It's zooming in quite a bit on Australia. I'm trying to get into the corner here. I'm just going to leave it zoomed out. I can't get a great view on here, but you can kind of see them in, fill them in. You can see them fill in as I'm going. So New Zealand, and then just north of New Zealand, we have Norfolk Island. Just north of Norfolk Island, there's New Caledonia, which is a French region out there in the Pacific. Vanuatu is directly north of that, and then the Solomon Islands is northwest of that. There's also Papua New Guinea, and then Indonesia to the east. That's not really part of the Oceania, but we'll include it. Right nested inside of Indonesia is East Timor. And then those two to the left there, we have the Cocos or Keeling Islands, and then also Christmas Island right in here. You can see Cocos Keeling and then Christmas. We'll come back to the rest of what is actually Asia here, but right to the right of the Philippines, we'll fill in the Philippines since we're talking about it. To the right of the Philippines, we have Palau and then Micronesia. North of Micronesia, we have Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands. To the right of Micronesia, I believe that's the Marshall Islands up there in the northeast of Micronesia. It is. That should be Nauru, directly southeast of that. And now this cluster here that we have remaining. Do I get everything in here? I actually don't get everything. The two close ones here should be both Samoa and American Samoa. When I fill it in, it'll cover both of them. As you can see, the big circle here, I believe that's Fiji. It is. We've got Tuvalu to the north of that. I believe Wallis and Futuna is in there directly. Yep, there. Tokelau should be northeast, I believe. It is. And then finally we have Tonga to the east of that. And our last one is... now I'm trying to remember what this last one is. When I talk them out, I forget. I forget some. I might have to come back to that one. It is... Oh, you know what? It's Niue. Niue. Bang. Got it. All right, now we'll go into Asia, starting with right over here on the bottom left is the Maldives. Directly northeast of that is Sri Lanka. We've got India, Singapore down here just below Malaysia, and we'll fill in Malaysia as well. Brunei is on the Borneo portion of Malaysia. And now we've got a bunch in here. These two right next to each other. That's going to be Hong Kong on the east and Macau on the west. Taiwan over there, sitting there. Obviously, mainland China directly above. And then up in the mountains here, well, where the Himalayas would be, Nepal, Bhutan. South of Bhutan is Bangladesh. To the east of Bangladesh is Myanmar or Burma. And then we have Thailand, southeast of that. Laos, northeast of that. Vietnam, directly east of that. And then finally Cambodia, rounding out our little nest here. Let's fill out the rest of these in the northeastern portion of Asia. Russia, obviously the big one there. We've got Mongolia, North Korea, South Korea, and Japan. And then we've got all the Stan countries in here. Actually, we can look at most of the Middle East and the Stan countries. So Kazakhstan is the big one. Directly south of Kazakhstan, we have both Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan. We've got Tajikistan, south of Kyrgyzstan. And then to the west is Turkmenistan. We've got Afghanistan and Pakistan. And then obviously Iran. Now, there's some, as this quiz mentions, there are some territories in here. So, in the northeast portion of Georgia, let's fill in Georgia first so you can see which one Georgia is. Northeast portion of Georgia, we have Abkhazia. And then directly north of the main part of Georgia is it's South Ossetia or South Ossetia, depending on how you pronounce it, depending on where you're from. Then the eastern one is going to be Azerbaijan. And then Armenia to the west of that. And then this disputed territory in between Azerbaijan and Armenia is owned by Azerbaijan, but that is going to be the Artsakh Republic. As you can see, it should be filled in also known as Nagorno-Karabakh, but it does count as Artsakh here. And then the rest of the Middle East, let's get a little bit better view on that if I can. We have both Cyprus and North Cyprus are going to be separate entities on this quiz. We've got Turkey, obviously. Israel and Palestine are separate entities here. Lebanon, and then we've got Syria, Jordan, Iraq to the east of Jordan, and then Kuwait. And then finally, Saudi Arabia, or the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, KSA, works for us here. Bahrain is just off the coast here, with Qatar right next to that. And then finally, going clockwise, we've got the UAE, Oman, and Yemen. And that should be all of Asia. I'll save Africa for last. We'll go up into Europe. We've got way up there in the north is Svalbard and Jan Mayen. Has the I believe Svalbard has the northernmost permanent settlement in the world. Island over here is Iceland. To the east of Iceland, we have the Faroe Islands. We actually have a great view of all of Europe here. So, and then we'll start going clockwise here around Europe. We've got Norway, Sweden, Finland, and then Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine. Oh, well, it counted the UK first because I typed UK. But back over to where Ukraine is. We got Ukraine, and then that tiny little sliver right here is actually a territory that's trying to be self-governing called Transnistria. That's part of Moldova, which is the one right next to that. And then we have Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, Albania, and then to the east of Albania we have North Macedonia. We've got Kosovo directly north of that, Serbia, Montenegro to the southeast of most of Serbia. Then we got Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, and then this little mess in here, Poland at the top, Czechia to the southwest of Poland, Slovakia to the south, directly south of Poland, and then Hungary, and to the one further south to the west of Hungary is going to be Slovenia. North of that is Austria, and then obviously Germany, Denmark, and then we have the Netherlands. We've got Belgium, and then we've got Luxembourg directly south of that. France is going to be south of Luxembourg, and then Switzerland, and then sandwiched between Switzerland and Austria is going to be Liechtenstein right there. We've got Italy, and then nested within Italy we have San Marino and Vatican City. Malta is south of Italy. We've got Monaco just bordering only France. We've got Andorra bordering France and Spain. We've got obviously Spain, and then Portugal, with Ireland as the last regular country up in here. And then we've got some self-governing territories of the United Kingdom. Starting up at the top here is the Isle of Man. And then both Jersey and Guernsey are right in there. Jersey is the one further south, Guernsey directly north of that. And then finally Gibraltar is going to be the last one we can see. That is just barely touching Spain on the southern tip. That leaves us with just Africa left. Let's get the islands polished off. First, Cape Verde over here on the western portion of Africa. Sao Tome is this other circle here. We obviously got Equatorial Guinea already. That was the very first one we started with. Over here on the right side, the furthest north one here of the islands is Seychelles. And then finally, we've got both Comoros and Mayotte are going to be the two in here. Mayotte is not a country. Comoros is. Mayotte is a territory, I believe, also of France. And then obviously Madagascar. Everybody's familiar with Madagascar. And then we have Reunion, also of France. And then finally Mauritius over here. Right there. And now that leaves us with just mainland Africa. Let's go to the South Africa, obviously, first. And then completely surrounded by South Africa is Lesotho. And then Eswatini borders also Mozambique. We've got Malawi north of Mozambique, as well as Tanzania. Those two small ones at the top. On the top is Rwanda, with Burundi directly south of that. We've got Zambia south of both of those, with Zimbabwe as the smaller Z country, Botswana to the west of that, Namibia to the west of that, with Angola up on top. Let's get a little bit higher here. The big country there is the DRC, or Democratic Republic of the Congo, with the Republic of the Congo directly west of that, and Gabon directly west of that, with Cameroon stacked on top. Central African Republic, or CAR, is to the east of that, with South Sudan to the east of that, Uganda south of South Sudan, Kenya to the east, Somalia to the east, and then we'll also have Somaliland as its own self-governing territory there as well, Ethiopia to the west, Djibouti north of that, Eritrea north of that, and Sudan west of that. Now, Chad's in the center here. East or west of Chad, we have both Niger and Nigeria. And then in order from east to west, we have Benin, Togo, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, and then Senegal, with Gambia being, other than touching the ocean, completely surrounded by Senegal. And then the back up north of that is Mauritania, Western Sahara, a territory claimed by Morocco, but also kind of self-governing. And then we've got Mali and Burkina Faso rounding out those ones. We got 248 apparently is the total number of territories. We've got 5 left, sorry. Obviously Morocco, so we're going west to east here. We got Morocco, we got Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and then finally we're finishing off with Egypt. Obviously, 14 minutes and 43 seconds. I do have an ad blocker on. Support Jetpunk if you want. I have been meaning to get a premium account, but I've not yet done it. I'll put the link for this quiz down below. You can obviously copy it from the video as well, but I'll make it a little bit easier on you guys. If you guys enjoyed this one, and maybe you want to see me do more quizzes, I might do them on stream sometime when I'm streaming on Twitch. That link's also in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know the content's a little bit different than the Risk that you guys are used to watching, but I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I upload videos every single day at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and comment down below what you thought about this one. Definitely looking for feedback on stuff like this. Like, would you want to see more quiz content? Do you want to see other games that I play? That kind of stuff. I'll certainly be willing to do that and put it on the channel. As always, everybody, if you want to catch a video that YouTube recommends for you, right here above my head, the subscribe button's in the upper right corner. I have been C Money. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a tremendous rest of your day. Peace.